Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we are going to be reviewing Scream 5. Let's just dive into it. So, Scream 5 starts off with basically a whole new cast here, aside from a few appearances of some of, the, like, legends of the first one, I think they call it. But we basically start things on off with Jenna Ortega playing Tara here in this series. She ends up on the phone call with Ghostface, kind of like a standard Scream 1 type vibe to it, basically asking her, "Oh, what's your favorite scary movie?" and etc. Goes on about it, and then she ends up getting attacked there at the start, getting stabbed several times, and ends up being hospitalized. Um, from there, her sister gets a call about it from one of their friends. His name is Wes, played by Dylan Minnette, who I actually really like as an actor, and I wish he didn't die in this movie. But he ends up giving her sister a call because both the sisters are really like not on good terms at this time. So he ends up giving her a call so that she could come out and see her sister and make sure everything's good and everything. So as Sam gets the call and comes on back, her boyfriend at the time, who's Richie, is coming back with her as well, so he could kind of be there as support. You guys will know what I'm talking about later on, but he ends up going back on out there with Sam, so then she can be with her sister. They end up talking a little bit. Sam at some point tells Tara that she is the daughter of Billy Loomis, who was, the original Ghostface killer. The movie kind of just goes on with them being in high school. It kind of just gave like, Scream 1 type vibes, like they were trying to revamp it like they've done with other horror series, which I kind of liked. And I was actually surprised at how much I liked the cast in this movie. I know a lot of people were super hesitant about it when it dropped in 2020, but, or 2022, I should say. But like the cast was actually not bad. I like all the friends. You have Chad and Mindy, you have Wes, and then you have a few other like smaller roles and like Liv and a few other of their friends. But then you have Amber, who ends up being one of the killers within the movie. So there's a lot of good like friends they have in this movie, and I really like what they did with Mindy. They kind of made her the new Randy. I believe she was actually cousins of Randy, if I'm not mistaken. So she kind of takes over that role, but they give her like a much more needed role over the next two movies. Like she's really about it. She talks about the legacy characters in Randy and Gail when they're talking at one of their houses. Also talking about Sydney as well, which I thought was really cool because she's like, this isn't like a normal like standard trilogy. This is like a new franchise in a sense. Like this is just a new take on things. So that means legacy characters are not safe here in the movie, which I really love because everyone not being safe is the best thing ever. And we see that we end up back in the hospital at some point with Sam and Tara, and we find out that the Ghostface killer is there. Believe it or not, it is Sam's boyfriend and Amber. So just know, guys, like there's a lot of good storyline here in this movie, and I really liked it. And from there, we kind of see an attack there on Sam, and then um, sorry, losing my train of thought there. We see Dewey pull up with Gale at one point. Dewey unfortunately ends up dying. It took a lot of talking to get Dewey out of his little trailer that he was living in, watching Gale on TV. Dewey ends up dying. I actually don't think Gale's there at the time. I think she comes in after when Dewey's dead. Oh my god, I just watched the last night. I can't even remember. Oh my god. But anyways, yeah, Dewey ends up dying, which was like the saddest moment for me because he was literally my favorite character in the whole series. I know he wasn't like always like the greatest because he wasn't like always there, but like I loved Dewey, such a great character. But they had to make an impact on the movie and give it something where it was like, oh my god, they're not joking, like they're really trying to relive the past basically, and these legacy characters are not safe. And Dewey ends up being one of those legacy characters that ends up taking the bullet for everyone, ends up dying. Unfortunately, again, one of my favorite characters there in the series, if not my favorite. But it kind of like woke me up as a fan watching the movie the first time I watched it, and it's like, oh my god, no one's safe. Does that mean Sydney's not safe anymore? Does that mean Gail's not safe? I'm like, I thought they were just saying that to say it because they've said that in the past with, the third movie where they were talking about how no one's safe and then Sydney was perfectly fine, but they made an impact and I loved it. Um, Later on, we end up seeing everyone at the old um, Stumacher house. And this is where we end up finding out who the killers are, which is gonna be Amber and Richie there. Richie, who actually ended up being obsessed with all the stab movies and the whole story behind it, which we find out more about in the sixth one. He ends up being super obsessed with all those movies, and his girlfriend is actually Amber, who just wants to, dig up the past and relive it. And she doesn't really like Sam, so it gave her even more motive to do it because then she could, end up trying to kill her and etc. But we kind of get a standard, ending to the movie with like Ghostface trying to, kill them all. Sam ends up taking out her boyfriend, which again they were trying to relive the past a little bit. Boyfriend, Sydney, boyfriend Sam. So it all kind of came full circle, and then both of them end up dropping, and yeah, we see both Sam and Tara there at the end of it. It was a pretty decent movie overall. I wish we would have saw more of Tara in the movie. I think Jenna Ortega is kind of better than the character that played Sam and Melissa Barrera. I thought it would have been nicer to see her just a little bit more there in the movie, but not bad overall. I have it sitting at third in the franchise so far for me. I know that might be a little bit of a hot take over the second one, at least for some of you guys, but um, it brought it back to the roots. I really like the cast. I'm gonna be completely honest. We see a lot of them survive this time too. It was a nice little twist from a lot of people dying. Both Chad and Mindy survived. I think Chad got stabbed pretty bad there. He pulls through. It was great to see because it was not like a standard, oh, all your friends are gonna die and you're gonna be the last one left. No, it was literally they kept around a lot of people this time, which I think set it up pretty nice for future movies to come. Um, Set it up really nice for the sixth one at least. So it was a fun movie. Again, I have this sitting at third. It might be a hot take from the second, but I just liked it more than the second. It was not by like a lot, but it was by enough to be like, yep, I'm putting this at third. So if you guys are enjoying the videos, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment. If you guys want to help me on out by getting into more movies, I have a ton of them right now, but I'm always open to more. My Amazon wish list is linked to the profile, and until next time, see you guys.